Propósito. Un propósito es la intención o el ánimo por el que se realiza o se deja de realizar una acción. Se trata del objetivo que se pretende alcanzar. Este término indica la finalidad, la meta de una acción o de un objeto. Este es el tema de hoy, propósito, aquí en Un Café Contigo. What's going on, Izzy?
Everything good?
Everything good.
The weekend is almost here. As of this recording, the weekend is almost here. So, feeling good. Feeling even better right now because our producer, Rigo, showed us a sample of episode 1. And
Exactly.
It looked really good. We're going to see the evolution. And, as we progress, we already did one little upgrade. The audience knows this is episode 2. We're in a different, we're in a different studio. So I like what I saw. I think the show's going to get better and better as it goes. And I'm excited about this episode. I don't know if you want to let the people know what we're going to talk about, and then we'll just dive right in.
Exactly. Este es el segundo programa que vamos a grabar. Estamos contentos. We're so happy about it.
Yeah.
Vamos a ir evolucionando poco a poco. Vamos a ir viendo cómo vamos a ir mejorando para tener estas pláticas casuales. Vuelvo a repetir. I'm gonna repeat myself again from the first episode. El propósito de esto son pláticas comunes para llegar a ustedes, conversar, ir más adelante, leer los comentarios que nos prestan y ir aprendiendo, creciendo, ir dejando un legado. Pláticas comunes que queremos tener, conversaciones para llegar a todos ustedes y ustedes puedan disfrutar en su casa, en su trabajo, en el carro, donde quiera que vayan, escuchando y que puedan aprender algo que se les quede positivo de esas pláticas. Eso es todo, ese es el propósito. De hecho, el tema de hoy es propósito, purpose. It's the theme, it's subject of today.
Purpose.
The purpose in life. Fíjate que me llama mucho la atención este título porque veo mucha gente que vive sin propósito y me hace recordar una frase. It takes me back in time to remember a phrase that my father, rest in peace, used to tell me. Me decía mi padre, que en paz descanse, cuestiona todo en la vida, haz las cosas con un propósito para que no vivas muerto en vida como todos los demás, porque si no serás un número más.
Can you say that in English?
In English, he would always tell me, question everything in life and make sure you do everything with a purpose. That way you will not live a life. You will not live dead in life. Vas a vivir muerto en vida.
Right.
You're just going to be kind of like a zombie, per se.
Yeah.
Eso es a lo que se refería.
A zombie has no purpose.
No purpose. There's no purpose in that. Entonces el propósito. Y yo digo que el propósito en esta vida en sí es hacer algo que te gusta. A veces, de esas cosas que a veces te dicen, oye, échame la mano con esto. Entonces, no, yo lo hago con gusto. It's something that you will do without having to get paid. For example.
Kind of like, what is something in your life that you would do that you love doing so much, you would do it for free?
For free. Okay. And it gives you satisfaction, que te dé satisfacción y que digas tú, sabes que me gusta hacerlo. Y a veces tenemos un propósito, pero no siempre el propósito lo hacemos nuestro vivir. In other words, we don't make that purpose our way of living. It may be a hobby. Yo, por ejemplo, tengo un amigo que le gusta la carpintería.
Okay.
He loves being a carpenter. Pero eso no es lo que hace, él trabaja en otra cosa. Pero si a él le dices, oye, cabrón, ayúdame a hacer una mesa, te hace un trabajo muy bueno, hace unas sillas y lo que tú quieras. Le encanta.
Yeah, I'm laughing because it reminds me of something that that me and my friends used to say, but go ahead, I'll say it right now.
Y es de los que te dice, nada más cómprame el material. O sea, all you have to do is just, buy the material and I'll go ahead and do it. Y una vez te dije, güey, a lo mejor ese es tu propósito y puedes hacer un negocio de esto. Y me dice, y es que no, me gusta, pero lo disfruto, pero se me hace que si lo hago negocio a lo mejor le voy a perder el sabor.
Well, and also carpentry might not be his purpose. His purpose might be helping people, and the carpentry was just like a resource or a vessel, and that's how he likes to help his friends, his family.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Nunca lo había visto de esa manera,
Yeah,
pero
it's
that's
like
a good point.
the reason I was laughing was because when you said that, I remember when we were growing up, there was, you know, we always had that running joke when we were growing up that you know, every group of friends, I don't know about here, you know, down south where I grew up in Chicago, every group of friends, we all had that one guy that made the real good grilled cheese sandwich. And he was he was so proud of the grilled cheese. I know which one it was for us, which one with my buddies. It didn't matter what was going on. We could have been, you know, hanging out, or he could have been asleep, you know, like, don't bother me. And we would, wait, hey man, can you hook us up with a grilled cheese sandwich? He'd be so proud of it, no matter how tired. Oh yeah, give me a minute, I'll go. And that's because it was his thing, you know? It might be something insignificant for others, but it's when you have that one thing that you have a little passion for doing, you don't mind doing it for other people and helping other people.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's just a little something I remembered. And it's just, you know, how you're saying purpose. It's. I think we mistake it a lot when people ask you, what is your purpose? Automatically, especially when you're younger, you start thinking, oh, like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do? What is my passion? And you start thinking things like, oh, I want to be a singer. Or I want to be a famous actor. I want to be a sports star. That's not necessarily your purpose.
Exactly.
It's more like, who am I? What drives me? What is the reason that I wake up every morning?
What can become a blessing? Algo que sea como una bendición para ti y para los demás. Fíjate, ahorita me acordé de una vez que mi esposa me comentó, she was telling me, me habló un amigo que tenía problemas con su esposa, que quería un consejo y que ya estaban a punto de divorciarse. Hace muchos años que pasó esto. Entonces me dice, ¿por qué siempre te toca conocer a gente que tiene problemas y te hablan o te buscan para que les des consejos? Y le dije, a lo mejor eso es un llamado. Maybe that's a purpose. Maybe. That's a calling for me. I don't know. Porque sí me ha tocado mucha gente a las cuales gracias con pláticas nada más, y adaptando las filosofías de la vida de mi padre y lo que he aprendido, pues me dicen muchas gracias, el consejo. No te digo que soy un psicólogo, not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, anything like that, no. Pero simplemente amigos me han buscado, gracias a Dios, y me hizo esa pregunta, me dijo, pero tienes una suerte que te toca conocer a personas que tienen problemas y que vienen y te buscan. Y ahí fue cuando le dije, pues, a lo mejor ese es un propósito que yo tengo. No sé. Dije, ahora no me molesta hacerlo. I'm not bothered by it.
Has anyone ever told you why they feel like they gravitate towards you to, like, for lack of a better term, vent to you? Has anyone ever told you, it's just because I feel like...
Sí, una vez una muchacha me dijo, porque le pregunté, le dije, oye, le dije, ¿por qué yo? Why me? Like, why are you telling me all this? Right? Y me dice, tú inspiras confianza en la manera que hablas. Me dice, eres rudo, o sea, you're like raw. You say things the way they are, but, dijo, las dices con mucha educación, con mucho tacto. Entonces le dije, sí, trato de ¿cómo se llama? De platicar contigo y ser crudo. Like,
You're not gonna sugarcoat.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. No, especially for girls. And this girl that was telling me this, tenía problemas. She was single at the time y todo.
No, but she was a friend. Like, you knew her. It wasn't.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a random stranger.
No. She was a friend, but she started venting, opening up to me. O sea, se abrió completamente. Y yo dije, pues gracias por la confianza. Y me dice, es que me inspiras confianza. No a todo el mundo le platico estas cosas, pero porque inspiras confianza para poderte platicar y sé que tú me vas a dar un consejo. Otra persona una vez me habló, ya tenía como un año de no platicar con ella. Trabajábamos juntos y de repente me mandó un mensaje. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hola, ¿qué tal? Y ella me dice, estoy a punto de comprar un carro. Yo, ok, perfecto. Me dice, ¿te puedo llamar? Sí. Y me habló por teléfono. Y me dice, pues, I'm gonna buy a car. I'm debating, ¿qué hago? ¿Qué sé qué otro? Y yo sé que tú vas a ser bien honesto conmigo y me vas a dar el mejor consejo de qué hacer. Era una mujer, es una muchacha mucho más joven y estaba a punto de cambiar su carro por uno nuevo. And this is the payment that I have, blah, blah. And I was like, why me? Right? Y me dijo, es que yo sé que tú me vas a dar el consejo apropiado y no me vas a... You're not going to sugarcoat it for me. You're going to tell me the way it is and how I'm going to struggle and blah, blah. Y ya, eso es lo que... Y he tenido así. Y ese podría ser por decir, un propósito y qué bueno que la gente te busca por algo, mientras tengas un propósito. No que nada más te busque porque te conoce o para cualquier tontería. A veces es bueno que te busquen por un propósito.
Is that part of the reason that you wanted to start this project?
Exactamente. That was one of the main reasons. If not the main reason.
Because you told me when you first told me about this project, when you were at the house, you didn't tell me these stories, like this one right now. So now it's like, okay, so is that why you started this project? Because you feel like maybe this is my
it's a purpose. Es algo que quería venir mucho tiempo, que ya tenía mucho tiempo que quería hacer. Pero no se había prestado la ocasión. No sé, no lo sentía. Empecé un tiempo, subí unos cuantos videos a un canal de YouTube personal.
Yes.
Y de hecho ahí en esos videos, o sea, me impactó mucho la manera en que llegas a la gente. Pero después de ahí empecé a ver todo el contenido que hay en el internet y todas las cosas. Dije yo no quiero ser entertainer. I don't want to be an entertainer. And I don't want to debate. And I don't want to be right all the time. And I don't know. No, yo quiero platicar con gente. Quiero que la gente escuche las pláticas y los consejos y las experiencias de vida que hemos tenido tú y yo y las personas que se sienten aquí con nosotros tras estos micrófonos, e ir aprendiendo uno del otro, porque todos hemos tenido aprendizajes en esta vida y podemos aprender de ellos. Por ejemplo, if you had an experience and you tell me about your experience and the way, maybe I can take a part of that. De lo que me estás platicando lo saco y me lo guardo y el día de mañana a lo mejor lo uso. Entonces, ese es el propósito. Si alguien ahorita, por ejemplo, está en el trabajo, vamos a decir que este podcast lo están escuchando en el trabajo y están todos trabajando en chinga porque en el trabajo estás en automático. O sea, estás a veces no piensas, pero dices, oye, ¿sabes qué? Que te gusta poner música, que te gusta poner una plática. Y si tú y yo estamos platicando las anécdotas y las experiencias que hemos tenido y de repente it clicks. Hey, wait a minute. Rewind it.
What did he say?
What did he say? He said something about this. Like, that happened to me once. Es como cuando estás leyendo un libro, like reading a book. That book has a purpose. And I think that every conversation that you have, regardless whether it's this in a podcast or whether you go to a friend's house, I think every single conversation has to have a purpose. Nunca me ha gustado a mí platicar, y te lo voy a hacer rudo, nunca me ha gustado platicar lo pendejo. No. Yo quiero aprender de algo. Porque mi padre, que en paz descanse, me decía, si tú tienes tiempo para perder en la vida, adelante, piérdelo. Pero nada más acuérdate que cada minuto que pasa ya jamás lo vas a volver a recuperar. Every minute you are in this world and you're wasting in this life, you're not going to get it back. So if you're doing something with a purpose, that's good. But if you're wasting your time, por ejemplo, me decía, ¿te gusta el béisbol? You want to sit down, te quieres sentar a ver un juego de béisbol, son 3 horas, nada más acuérdate de una cosa, ya no las vas a recuperar. So if you have another option to do something with a better purpose than just sitting down and watching a game, well, do it. If you have the luxury.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's not a knock on leisure time.
No.
It's not a knock. Yeah, leisure. We need leisure time. There's always a time we need to relax. Watch sports game. We love to watch football. Cowboys are going to win. We love to watch football. I like to watch, me and my wife, we love to just watch movies. Like there's people, let's watch a movie. No, we love to watch movies. There's a time for that. But if that's all you're doing, then there's something wrong with that also. That's what you're trying to say. And what that's another reason why I gravitated towards, wanting to help you out with this project, because I know every time we have a conversation, when we get together, we have really good conversations. And at the end of every one of those, it's almost like, man, I wish we would have recorded that. We should start something, which is what we're doing right now. And I love the fact that it's just two regular guys talking about real life situations. How you said it, you're not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. We're not licensed in anything. We're just two regular guys.
Just two common guys.
We're just
two average Joes.
Yeah, two common guys, barely, and we have thoughts, we have opinions, and we want to talk about them. And I think there's a lot of people that they think the same way we do, where, I mean, it's easy to hear the TV host or the therapist tell you something, or the teacher. But a lot of times you think to yourself, like, I want to have a real conversation. I know
with a real human being.
The real human beings. I know what you're saying is right, but I want to talk to someone that's actually been through this experience. Someone like, what's the real answer? I know that, finance is this and but what is my neighbor going through?
Someone you can relate to, and you can empathize, or they can empathize with you.
And you'd be surprised that we actually are all dealing with the same things. It doesn't matter what part of life we're coming from. It doesn't matter what our values are. It doesn't matter our background. When you sit down and talk to someone, you say, hey, they're going through the same thing I am, or they did, or we're not that different.
Es cierto, porque mira, por ejemplo, es una buena mancuerna. Los dos somos latinos, we're both Latin Americans, right? But we come with very different backgrounds. ¿Por qué? Exactly. ¿Tú creciste en...?
I was born
and raised?
Well, I was born in Mexico. I was born in Sabinas, Nuevo León.
Oh, okay.
But I was raised in Chicago.
En Chicago. Bueno,
my entire childhood. Adulthood here, Laredo.
Yo nací, por ejemplo, en Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas, y crecí en México. O sea, 100% mexicano. Yeah. Llegué aquí a los 11, 12 años más o menos. Son dos backgrounds muy diferentes. Pero tenemos cosas en común y somos pláticas, somos humanos. Y es la comunicación. Y ese es el propósito de todo esto, porque, fíjate, ayer estaba pensando. Ayer estaba yo en espera en un restaurante. I was waiting for an order. Y volteo a ver a mi alrededor. Y desafortunadamente es algo que nos gana hoy en día a todos. No nada más, no estoy criticando a nadie, porque todos somos víctimas de eso. El chingado celular. O sea, ya no hay comunicación. Estas pláticas que tú y yo estamos teniendo, pudimos haberlas tenido con una persona totalmente ajena en un restaurante mientras esperábamos una orden, en el consultorio de un doctor mientras esperabas tu cita, en la parada de la esquina, en el Walgreens, si vas a comprar algo y te encuentras en línea. Por eso, buenos días, buenas tardes, pues se puede networking, se puede entablar.
And we're all guilty of it.
Sí, we're all guilty of it.
I'm guilty. Everyone is that this thing right here has become
nos domina y nos puede quitar ese propósito y donde cuando dos personas conversan, when you're having a conversation with somebody and that conversation has a purpose, it gives you feedback to yourself, it gives feedback to the other people, and you can take the good stuff and bad stuff, filter it, use it wisely, and then again grow as a person. Crecer como persona mientras platicas. La comunicación es como se dice, es tan importante, y hoy en día nos comunicamos con puro texto. Por ejemplo, ahora ya nos expresamos con lo que se llaman emojis. Now we don't know how to express ourselves. We want to send a I love you, we want to send a sad face, we want to send, quieres mandar una carita feliz o un enojo, los stickers, los memes o los emojis. Y te digo, soy culpable de eso. I'm guilty of it. Porque lo ves y sientes como que te estás expresando. Y no es correcto.
But it's become so instilled in our psyche.
Es normal hoy en día.
So instilled in our psyche.
But it doesn't make it correct.
No, it doesn't. But you text, and and emojis even, before emojis you would text, but they don't really translate that well, because if you're talking, so sometimes you're like, what did he mean by that? So emojis kind of help with that. but we've become a society where now when someone calls, you're like, why are they calling me? Why are they just texting me?
No, ni te contestan.
Yeah, they want.
No, they don't answer the phone. Nobody answers the phone. No quieren hablar contigo, pero les mandas un texto y inmediatamente te contestan. Yeah. Es que te llamé.
But that's me, and that's me.
Es que te llamé porque hablo contigo. ¿Qué pasó? Yeah. Y yo, pues contéstame, güey. O sea, quiero hablar contigo. Pues mándalo por texto. Pero ¿por qué por texto? O sea, porque estamos acostumbrados a la falta de comunicación. Y yo creo que se nos va perdiendo la expresión. Yeah. Se nos va perdiendo la expresión. O sea, entonces,
if we don't gain anything else from this, maybe we'll help people start talking a little more to each other at the dinner table or at the restaurant. Because we see that also. And like I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes when me and the wife were with the kids, we're having dinner and we're all on our phones. We didn't have that before.
Fíjate, ahorita que dices eso, me acordé de mucho. Yo creo que, o sea, igual, el tema de hoy es el propósito, pero pues bueno, estamos hablando de tecnología. Sí, estamos hablando de la tecnología. ¿Por qué? Porque pues nos está quitando un propósito. Yo lo vería de esa manera. Una vez leí un reportaje, I read a newspaper, a Mexican newspaper, este chavo fue a visitar a un familiar en Monterrey. Y escribió una columna en el periódico diciendo, entré a un restaurante mexicano muy elegante, muy bonito. Me sorprendió tanto ver a una familia que eran como 12, una mesa muy grande. Dijo, y cuando yo entré los vi de lejos y los vi que estaban, me sorprendió tanto verlos, estaban rezando antes de comer. Y dije, qué bonito, eso ya no se ve hoy en día, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Dice, cuando me acerco, no estaban rezando, todos estaban en el teléfono. Y dice, fue una tristeza porque nunca se comunicaron en toda la noche.
Yeah.
Entonces dice él, ya elaboró sobre el tema en la columna diciendo que íbamos we're going backwards, that we're going to become cavemen with technological capacity. Because our brains were not going to function the same way. Nuestras neuronas iban a ir acabando por darle paso a la tecnología, pero pues vas a terminar siendo un cavernícola con una computadora. Dice, because brains are not going to function less and less and less and less, because we're letting technology lead us.
Which technology is here to help us, and it is a positive. It's just how are we using this resource?
But now it's our purpose.
Yeah, exactly. But so let's go back to purpose. Let's go back to it. What I want you to do, Marcos, is read it again. Read it one more time. Definition, you can do it in English and in Spanish, and then I want to ask them, once you read it, answer me. So how does one find his or her purpose?
Okay. Mira, dice, un propósito es la intención o el ánimo por el que se realiza o se deja de realizar una acción. Se trata del objetivo que se pretende alcanzar. Este término indica la finalidad, la meta de una acción o de un objeto. The purpose is the intention or the intention of making something happen, making an action happen. That's the purpose of, the objective is try to reach a goal, right?
Trying to reach a goal.
Or an objective.
Which means
trying to reach it.
Which means like a purpose doesn't have to be that you're always helping or running a charity or helping people. That doesn't have to be necessarily your purpose. It's not, I guess to have your purpose in life means you have to be some type of a Mother Teresa or a Gandhi. No. Like, what is it that drives you? What is it that you wake up? What is it that wakes you up in the morning?
Y que te hace sentir alegre, que te gusta hacerlo por divertirte. Fíjate, ahorita que dices, how do we find the purpose? ¿Cómo encontramos el propósito?
Let me just add this. I'll be honest with you. Like, truthfully, I don't really know exactly 100%, even at my age right now, what my purpose is. Like, I can't sit here and tell you, like, this is my purpose in life, to do X. I don't know. I mean, I honestly can tell you, I don't know it. What I can tell you is I wake up every morning and I'm wide awake, ready for the day. I love what I do at work. You know, I love doing that whole deal. I love coming home, being with the family. That drives me, you know, needing to setting goals for the day for that, you know, for myself, that drives me. Am I gonna say that what I do in my career is my purpose? Not necessarily. I mean, what I do right now is not something I was thinking of doing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a professional wrestler at one point when I was a kid. But I still enjoy waking up and going, you know, and doing that. So it goes back a little bit to what I was saying, like your purpose, it doesn't necessarily have to be what you're doing. What you're doing could just be the resource that is given to you or the vessel to accomplish that purpose. I mean, I don't know, like, is my purpose being a family man? Because that's what I enjoy doing. I like going home.
It all depends on joy. No sé si yo ya encontré mi propósito, pero sí tengo una muy buena idea. And I'm gonna go back a few years, probably 2015, 2016, más o menos como el 2015, 2016. Fui a un concierto. It was a Christian concert. Okay. Yo soy muy abierto en lo que se trata de religión. A mí me invitaron a un concierto cristiano. I was like, yeah, let's go. I've heard a couple of songs from this guy. Me gusta mucho. Vamos, yo voy. Ese chavo, estando en el concierto, me hizo llorar. Me hizo llorar con un consejo que dio. Se puso a platicar entre medio de las canciones. Y él ahí fue donde escuché cómo encontrar tu propósito. Él dijo, hay 3 pasos para encontrar tu propósito en esta vida. Tu felicidad, tu plenitud, como le quieras llamar. Dijo, first step, el primer paso, dijo, encuentra el talento que Dios te dio. Find your talent. Something you're good at, something you love doing, right? Dijo, adóptalo. Adapt to that talent. Ámalo, hazlo tuyo, make it yours. Dijo, el tercer paso, cuando ese talento se convierta en una bendición para los demás, habrás encontrado tu propósito y tu felicidad en esta vida. When that talent becomes when you're practicing that talent and it becomes a blessing to other people, you will find your purpose or your happiness or your fulfillment in this life. I'm going to translate it to you. ¿Cómo lo viví yo después de haber escuchado eso? ¿Cómo me di cuenta? Dije, cabrón. Por eso se me salieron las lágrimas cuando escuché decir eso. Porque una vez te voy a platicar la anécdota de una clienta, de una quinceañera. Como tú sabes, I'm a photographer and I did your daughter's Sweet 16. And look at us now. We're here together. So
yeah, in case anyone was wondering, you know, well, how did they meet or what? We met.
You were a client slash friend now.
We have a mutual friend, a really close mutual friend, and when we were planning the Sweet 16, he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you a number, Marcos, go with him, and look where we are now.
Exactly. Entonces, a mí lo primero que me pasó, and she's my assistant, I cover her quinceañera, I'm a photographer. Yo no soy el mejor fotógrafo del mundo, no, me encanta, amo la fotografía, amo porque vivimos de los recuerdos y pienso que es algo tan importante que soy responsable de captarlos. Me gusta captar los momentos, eso es lo que me gusta captar, documentar, to document events and live that day through photography afterwards, porque es lo único que queda de los recuerdos, son las fotografías. Entonces una vez viene esta clienta, una quinceañera, viene a recoger sus fotos, su álbum y todo. Ya platicamos un ratito, recogieron las cosas. Cuando se están yendo, la niña, 15 years old, she's 15 years old, she hands el álbum, se lo da a su mamá y le dice, mom, hold this. Se regresa conmigo y me da un abrazo. Y me dice, thank you very much. I love everything you did for me. Güey, me derritió el corazón. Ahí fue donde dije yo, es el propósito. Y ahí fue donde entendí la frase, cuando tu talento se convierte en una bendición para los demás, habrás encontrado tu felicidad y tu propósito en la vida.
We felt the same way when you went to the house. What was it, about a month later, you gave us the album? The same way. Which is another thing that, man, like technology, we have pictures on our phones, and we've slowly been getting away from, you know, remember when, I'm sure you've been in that situation, or everyone's been in a situation where you have family over, and what we used to do sometimes, pull out the old family albums, everyone would sit down on the couch and looking through the albums. We're losing that also because everyone has a picture on their phone. So what you're doing right there, you're kind of bringing it back. This is, this photo album, and that's something that you're providing to people, and it's something that's...
Que es la historia de lo que pasó ese día,
exactly.
Que es el propósito, ¿no? de todo el trabajo que hacemos. No quiero hacerlo como si fuera un comercial para mi negocio, ni mucho menos, no. Pero, para no hacerte el cuento tan largo, esa niña, ahorita ya tiene 21 años.
Okay.
Ella es asistente mía y aparte es de la familia.
There you go.
Last Christmas, she gave me a present. And on the note que dice to from, decía to my second dad.
Oh.
Y fue mi clienta, cabrón. O sea, entonces, por eso te digo que no sé si sea mi propósito, si ya lo he encontrado, pero sí tengo una muy buena idea. También tengo un amigo, sin agraviar a nadie, que estábamos en una carne asada tomándonos una cerveza y todo, y yo cubrí su boda. Tomé fotos y video en su boda y todo. Ya había pasado como 2 o 3 años. Y me dice, no puedo creer que tú fuiste mi fotógrafo y ahorita, de mi boda, y ahorita estoy tomando una cerveza contigo. Y me la estoy pasando toda. O sea, eres mi amigo, you're my friend right now.
Yeah.
Dice, you were my wedding photographer. Y digo, maybe because it's something that I'm passionate about. And it's something that I feel it's a purpose that I have.
2 things. So maybe that is your purpose. And your purpose, you're using your photography. And I was going to ask you, would you do it for free? But I think at the beginning, you started and you were
did a lot of things for
learning, and and now you're using that as a vessel to bless other people.
And yo pienso que a lo mejor maybe photography, la fotografía es como un complemento a mi propósito. Yo creo que mi propósito es captar, documentar los momentos. I'm a sucker for moments. O sea, the day of Elisa's Sweet 16, and you did your
the dance,
the surprise for your wife.
Yeah.
O sea, I was actually like, yo estaba con un pinche nudo en la garganta.
Yeah.
O sea, porque because I got to know you guys and I know the story behind it y todo. Y no es la primera vez. Yeah. Me ha tocado que estoy en una boda y estoy con una garganta porque se ve el amor. O sea, you can see that the people are in love, right? Y se ve eso en la garganta y güey, no, mejor me volteo porque luego voy a llorar. Soy ¿cómo te puedes decir? I'm a sucker for that. Yo soy muy romántico, muy antipático. Le he mandado textos a mi esposa. ¿Te quieres volver a casar conmigo? Entonces, me apasiona mucho. Y creo que a lo mejor ese es uno de los propósitos. Y hasta ahorita, gracias a Dios, me ha dado muchas satisfacciones. Me ha dado para poder proporcionar para mi familia. Gracias a Dios, como un negocio, como un trabajo, pero sigo haciéndolo con la misma pasión, sigo sintiendo la misma responsabilidad y la misma pasión por todo. Por eso yo pienso que es importante enseñarle a las nuevas generaciones a encontrar su propósito para que no nada más vivan al día de que pues you have to adapt and times change and we're just going with the flow.
And settling.
Find your purpose. Whatever you listen, whatever you like. Even if you don't make that purpose a living, you don't make a living with that, but that you're passionate about. Even if you make a living, if you work in something else, but at least you're doing something right.
And you'd be surprised how many people you might actually affect that you don't know. If you're doing something, or if you're listening to this and you're saying to yourself, "Well, yeah, but what I do, it really doesn't affect anyone. It's just me." Well, you don't know that. Even just, I'm really going to go like way out of the park here, but even if you work, for example, at a retail store, and it's your job to be there in the front desk, let's say somewhere in the mall, like, when you go into Macy's, you have the girls that help with the makeup, the ones that help with the jewelry. If you're there helping with the jewelry, this guy goes, because he's looking for a ring, to purchase for his girlfriend that he wants to propose, and you go and you show him all the rings, and you're there and you're passionate about it, really truly trying to help him choose the right one. And then, he buys it, he goes, he proposes it. You just had an effect on someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean that your purpose is, I'm going to become a jeweler? Not necessarily. But look at what you did, to someone's life. And if you can have that mentality and go to sleep at night knowing that in the morning, when I wake up, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do the best at whatever you're doing because I want to make a little change. Just that alone can be a purpose. I think we get confused with it so much. We think, purpose. We have to be something specific. Like I said earlier, a sports star or a singer. Those are the people that really found their purpose in life. I mean, not necessarily. We're talking about a really small fraction of people that actually get to live out that type of life. When we spoke about it a good while ago, I told you, those are just dreams and fantasies that became reality, which is good.
But not everybody's the same.
But it's not everyone's the same. And, so for example, like a LeBron James, excellent basketball player, excellent. He's for sure, in my opinion, top 10. Excellent basketball player, multiple championships. So was his purpose in life to be a basketball player? Maybe. Who knows? What I do know, from what I've read, is I think he also donates and has schools that he opened up, actual schools, education. So he's using his resources that how he made his money or whatever, and he's using it for this. So hey, maybe this is his purpose. Maybe his purpose was to open up schools for kids in cities. And he's using basketball as a vessel.
Es por ejemplo, la misma historia que tiene, por ejemplo, one of the biggest entertainers, que es Pitbull. Él tiene la misma historia. O sea, a lo mejor su propósito no era entretener a la gente, no eran los conciertos, sino tiene un par de preparatorias y le gusta mucho ayudar a la comunidad. He's always giving back to the community. Maybe the purpose was for him to become a biggest entertainer so that he can go ahead and provide for the community as well. Maybe
and they do it on a bigger scale. They're doing it on a big scale. I mean, they have they have the resources to do it, but you don't have to do it that way. Your purpose could just be going to whatever job you have, doing your best, and that in itself will give you a sense of purpose.
When you mentioned he's doing it at a bigger scale. This is how small things can be, but how big a difference can make. I've heard people say, he escuchado gente que dice, una sonrisa puede cambiar una vida. Porque nunca sabes. Hay alguien que a lo mejor ahorita está al borde de ya no soporta que la vida, que ya no puede, está en depresión. Y tú le saludas, hola, buenos días, ¿cómo amaneciste? Y te ríes, te sonríes. Y esa persona dice, pues, ¿qué pedo? ¿Qué estoy haciendo? Déjame despierto, ¿no? O sea, lo despiertas. Con una sonrisa lo puedes despertar. Y la sonrisa es muy contagiosa. I've seen social experiments where people are laughing and then it's just contagious and everybody else starts laughing. Todo el mundo se comienza a reír. Entonces, vivir con propósito. Me gustó lo que dijiste al principio, cuando te dije, para que no seamos zombies, dijiste, zombies don't have a purpose. Yo should do hashtag zombies don't have a purpose. Y fíjate que, por ejemplo, hablando de zombies, yo no soy muy fanático. I'm not a big fan of zombies and all that.
Zombie movies?
Type of shows. No, I'm not a big fan. No.
You're not?
But let me tell you something. Espérame tantito.
Man, the show just started last week.
Un día que no tenía nada que hacer, que dije yo, why does everybody talk about The Walking Dead? Todo el mundo está ahí, let me see what it's about. I don't like this type of shows, but let me see what it's about. Wait. Acabo de terminar, because I was waiting for them to come out on Netflix. Acabo de terminar los últimos episodios. No me gustó el final, pero bueno. Pero el trama de la película, los zombies they're like the extra part of the show.
Yeah.
It's human beings. ¿Cómo interactúan los humanos cuando están en sobrevivencia? El propósito que tienen de de conquistar, de rehacer de las comunidades, de cómo peleamos entre nosotros mismos, cómo el dominio la envidia, el poder to have power over people, and
Yeah, in
todo
in
eso.
The Walking Dead, the zombie, the actual, like I saying, that post-apocalyptic background, that's just a background. That's just a background, a backdrop, in the show. This is where we're living in. There's zombies.
Porque el drama está muy bueno.
But the drama.
Vamos a hacer un programa de shows de Netflix de lo que nos gusta ver.
Yeah, I mean, and a new show just started on HBO called The Last of Us. So you should watch it. It's gonna be good. It's actually
vi que estaba ahí.
It's from a video game. So this video game was on, I think, one of the PlayStations, and the kids are big on video games. When I was younger, I was big on video games, and when we purchased this one PlayStation years ago for our son, that game came in it. The game was like loaded in it. So we tried it out. Man, we stayed stuck on that game. Me, Tanya, the kids, because it was like a movie. It wasn't like just playing like Mario. No, this was like an actual movie, and it drew us in, and we wanted to see what was going to happen next. It was like you play the video game, but then you wanted to, like the storytelling was really good. Well, 10 years later, now it's a show, and they put it on HBO. Really good. We saw the first episode. I think they come out and recommend it. But yeah, going back to purpose, we got sidetracked again. Going back to purpose, that's basically it in a nutshell. I think it's just think to yourself, what drives me? What makes me want to wake up in the morning? If you're waking up every morning, kind of, I don't want to say the word lazy because it's not laziness, but you're waking up with a lack of motivation. There you go. You're not self-motivated for the day. You're like, oh, maybe you need a little change. Change is good. Change is good. It's good to change. It's good to evolve, because I will tell you one thing. I mean, we are all here for a purpose. God put us here for a purpose, and it's not the same purpose for everyone.
Exactly.
Everyone has certain talent, and everything that needs to be done in this world. There's people that are assigned to it. They just don't know it yet.
Exactly.
Even it could be anything little, from the farmer, that's giving us our food, to the teacher in school. Not all teachers, that's their purpose. A lot of them just are going for the paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that either. We need money. We need to survive. We need to pay bills. But then everyone has. I had one. I don't know if you had one. Everyone has that one teacher they remember from school.
That can make an impact on them.
Yeah, I had mine in elementary. You could tell. All right, that was their purpose. So it doesn't have to be something crazy out of this world. Just find what you have to do. My dad would even tell me when I was younger. He would tell me, there's, even in the military, he said, there's guys that God put on this earth that's their purpose. Military, war strategy. No, they don't want it. It doesn't mean that they want to kill or go to war, but that's instilled in them. It's instilled in them, and that's their purpose, and that's why they're there.
Que ahí encontraron su puesto.
Yeah. So there's nurses, the medical field. It doesn't matter if everyone has a purpose. Now, to go and find it, that the process to go and find it, that's the hard part. It's easy for me to say, yeah, if you don't like it, do something else, find your purpose. I said it in the beginning. I kind of don't even really know exactly what my purpose is. Now that we've spoken, I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, I guess maybe what I do, it could be my purpose.
Exactly.
My job isn't necessarily...
And that's the purpose of the conversation.
Yeah, my job isn't necessarily what I would think is, this is what I was born on earth to do, this. But with what I do, I have to engage with a lot of landowners in South Texas. I have to engage with a lot of co-workers.
Conoces diferentes tipos de personalidades.
Tons of different personalities. And it gets to the point, not every time, but a lot of times, where these certain landowners, where I develop a relationship with them. And sometimes before you know it, they're calling me or I'm calling them, and we're just conversing, and I enjoy that. Like what we're doing right now. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy debating. You know, I enjoy debating people and listening.
Not with the wife, though. No, don't debate with the wife.
That's not a debate. That's not a debate at all. It's just.
It's not a win-win situation.
Yeah, no,
that's a win-loss.
That's a lose-lose. Even if I win, I lose. You'll lose in the long run. If you're not married right now, you know, hey, just at the end of the day, we always lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just as we're having this conversation, I'm thinking maybe that is my purpose. I'm like, I don't know, like not talking to people, but I don't know, just listening, maybe.
Sí. No, y como te digo, el propósito de esas pláticas es eso, llegar a la gente, aprender de uno, ir reflexionando sobre la marcha y pues nada más, o sea, seguir avanzando, seguir creciendo como persona y encontrar un propósito y enseñar a las nuevas generaciones a vivir con un propósito para que no sea nada más un número más en esta vida.
Yeah.
Easy, thank you very much. This was a good conversation, and I think we're going to develop over this subject and more subjects that are coming up.
This was a great conversation. I think we both felt more relaxed. You know, the space, you know, I think is much better here. We found a good space here, and we got real in depth. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I could go another 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
because we could keep talking and talking and talking, but
pero no queremos jugar con la gente, no.
We're gonna have Rigo throw stuff at us. Rigo
ya lo está pegando con la cena.
You know, and you know, for the people listening, if you're listening to this, you know, leave some comments for us. Leave some comments for us. Let us know what you think. Ask questions. And give us some suggestions on what you would want us to talk about. You know, I know that Marcos, you do have quite a bit of a list of you know, like a punch list of what you want to talk about. But we're open to all conversations. Like we said again, and we're gonna keep repeating this. We're just two regular old guys who like to hang out. We like to talk about whatever and talk from real people to real people. You know, I know you've also said, man, I've also told you know. We also talk about issues here locally in Laredo, like things that are going on. Like, hey, what's going on? Let's talk about it. And it's just real people helping real people and having a good time and drinking some coffee.
Sí, y al rato vamos a tener invitados especiales y hablando de otros temas y eso sí.
We have a few lined out already. We have some people that are wanting, you know, to come on. So stay tuned for that.
Y ojalá sigamos creciendo. Vivir con un propósito y darle valor a lo que forma tu mundo para encontrar tu esencia. Haz lo más que puedas para desarrollar ese talento innato, algo que te nace por naturaleza, de lo que hablamos en la conversación. Te comparto algo que escuché hace muchos años y que me dio mucho impacto, tanto que supe que era lo que ya hacía día con día sin haberme dado cuenta. Punto número 1, encuentra tu talento innato, lo que mencionamos anteriormente. Dale forma, dale valor para que forme parte de tu diario vivir. Cuando ese talento se convierte en una bendición para los demás, habrás encontrado tu plenitud en la vida, es decir, tu propósito. No se les olvide darnos un like, compartir, suscribirse al canal, estén al pendiente. Hay una campanita ahí abajo que dice subscribe, suscríbanse al canal, traten de que esto llegue a mucha gente. Y otra vez, el propósito es compartir, conversar con ustedes, ir creciendo día con día. Estén al pendiente, al rato vamos a tener mercancía de un café contigo, gorras, plumas, tazas para el café, para que estén ahí al pendiente, para los 3-4 seguidores que vamos a tener en nuestras redes sociales. Una vez más, gracias a Israel, de parte de todo aquí el staff, el behind the scenes, Rigo y el tremendo señor Chris. Y de un servidor, Marcos Adrián. Esto fue Un Café Contigo. Saludos y bendiciones.